You can already see it. And so we're going to focus down on getting that idea across, because it's one idea, 20 minutes. Everybody cool? Awesome. But we can talk for the next 5 minutes. How's bits been for everyone? Any else? Sure. You want one? No, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, that was a pre-question. Seven more minutes, cool, excellent. We're all good. How's bits been for you guys? Seriously, any good sessions? Any oh my God moments, like you need to run out of the room, call the office, I've solved it, I know what we're doing now? Yes? KSQL? Oops. Okay, don't walk there. Lesson learned. Okay, that's cool. KSQL, DB. Anybody else? Power BI. Power BI calculation. Power BI something. I don't know. Power BI. No, totally kidding. Again, totally kidding. I do take these things very seriously. I just can't talk seriously about them, if you know what I mean. Awesome. Power BI calculation groups. Okay, neat. Anybody else? Any other good sessions? There's usually some wisecracker says, this one, which we haven't given yet, so. It's been exhausting. I am right there with you. I have not stood at a booth in 2 years, and hey, it's not fun. Cool, we're doing good. Plus, he'll keep me honest, right? Or at least he'll keep me on time. I might not be honest. Welcome to the party. Come on in. If you don't mind my asking, where are you from? I can't hear. Lancaster University, awesome. That's, I assume, located somewhere near Lancaster? Yep. Excellent. Not been out there either yet. I've been in a few places in the UK. I mean, obviously with SQL Bits moving around, I've been to SQL Bits a bunch. Cambridge all the time because of Redgate. You know, I've been out to Avebury. I spent a few days there once because biggest stone circle in Europe. That was pretty fun, tromping around the fields. How about you, sir?
Excellent. You asked me how I am.
Iceland. Oh, neat.
No. Denmark.
Oh, Denmark. Oh. I misunderstood what you said. I apologize. Denmark. Yeah, I've been there a few times. Once on a consulting gig. That was kind of weird. I got lost, but it all worked out. Actually, the people there were really lovely because when I was trying to get back to the airport, you know, it's like 6 a.m. and I'm at a train station, and my credit card was not working on the automated thing, and so I'm getting more and more desperate because it's just not working. And finally, I think the train ticket was like, I don't know, let's call it 60 kroner, right? Yeah, I think it was 60 kroner. I had a 100 kroner bill in my pocket, and this lovely young woman came walking up, and here I'm this fat, ugly American monster, and I'm like, excuse me, please, my credit card's not working. Could you buy me a ticket to the airport? It's 60 kroner, here's 100. And she's like, oh, sure, you know what I mean, and took care of me. But, oh, God, I felt so horrible going up to her with that. But yeah, she was a lovely, wonderful person. Worked out, so I love Denmark. Anyone, who else? Come on in. We got a couple minutes before we get started. 3 minutes before we get started. Normally, some of you, this is a repeat. Normally, I'm begging people for interaction and saying, hey, please ask me questions. This is a 20-minute session. Don't ask me any questions. If you want to talk to me afterwards at the Redgate booth, I'll go straight there, and we can talk there if you have questions about what I'm going to talk about today. But otherwise, we've only got 20 minutes. I've got one idea I want to get across to you, which you can already see, and we've only got 20 minutes to pound that idea into your head. So we're going to make that happen, okay? Everybody all right with that? Excellent. Let me just keep an eye on the time. 2 more minutes. Yep, cool. Start on time, end on time, sugar them up, send them home. Oh no, that's Cub Scouts. Never mind, never mind. Don't worry. Yeah, I know, it's an old joke. I'm sure a couple people have seen me talk before know I've tailed that joke almost every time. Cool.
But is there a difference though?
Not really. Not really, not fundamentally. For those late arrivals, where's everyone from? Scotland. I've been exactly 1 time. I had about 4 hours to walk around Edinburgh Castle, and that's all of Scotland that I've seen. Yeah, I do want to go back. Yeah, I understand there's a little bit more to it. just a touch. All right, 1 more minute. Anybody else? Where are you from? Oh, don't be shy. Yeah?
South Africa?
South Africa. Never been, would like to go. I'm a history nerd, and there's some really neat history down there. Not going to talk about it now. It will bore you all. If you're not nerdy like me, it won't work out.
Where are you from, Coach?
Where am I from? I am from, and I can actually say this now, I am from Oklahoma in the United States. I'm sorry. But, can't help where you're born. The reason I say I can say it now is because I used to live in Massachusetts. I lived for 23 years in Massachusetts, but I would always say, well, I live in Massachusetts, but I'm from Oklahoma, because nobody's from Massachusetts. Nobody admits it, really. Okay, it is time. Let me get going. All right, I assume you're in the right room, because it's been on the screen the whole time. Let's go ahead and get going. My name is Grant Fritchey. I work for Redgate Software. This is my contact information. We're not going to have a whole lot of time for questions today. We've only got 20 minutes to get through this. If you want to get in touch with me after today, I'd be happy to talk to you at the Redgate booth. Or you can use my email, Twitter handle, go to my blog, track me down through this, and please do get in touch. All right, everyone okay? Awesome. What we're talking about today is source control or version control, interchangeable, whatever you want to talk about. And it's really simple. Source control and version control is a system that enhances collaboration, enhances tracking, and helps you manage code changes. Now, when we talk about it, most people are like, yeah, our developers use that all the time. Your database is code. No, my database is not code. My database is a database. We take backups, we do restores, it's a database, there's data in it. It is not code. Yeah, okay. Create table. Well, yeah, sure, that's code. Create store procedure. Well, yeah, that's code. Alter store procedure. Well, yeah, okay, that's code too. Well, okay, maybe a database is code. Yes, your database is code. So your databases should be in source control. Now, here's one thing I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the fact that the big thing for source control is it's an aid to collaboration, communication, all that fun stuff, but it's an aid to automation. In fact, it's the foundation for automation. But let's just say that you don't want to do any automation. Let's say you're not interested in this whole DevOps mess. Horrible, horrible thing. DevOps, that just means developers deploying to production. By the way, that's a lie, but let's say we're not going to do that. We don't care about automation. That's fine. You should still put your database in source control. And we're going to spend the rest of our 20 minutes today understanding why. Everybody cool? Awesome. Here's why. Audits, undo, unknown state, backups, development isolation, and yeah, if you want to, automation. And we're done. Did we make it under 20 minutes? Cool, that's great. Thank you for attending. You can all go. Yeah, no, please don't. Please stay. This woman's leaving. Go. All right. Audits. Audits are really important. Let me tell you a story. One day, Grant, we'll use that name, was sitting at his desk in a cube and using the monitoring tool had spotted a problem. A store procedure was messing up bad. Grant opened up the code. Grant went out loud, by the way, "Oh my God, what idiot wrote this?" Now, Grant was kind of famous. He had a nickname, Scary DBA. Hi. And when he said this, the other DBAs and developers in the area popped up like gophers out of their holes and went, "Oh cool, Grant's gonna kill someone." Because yeah, this code was bad. We used source control, which gave us the ability to know who made the change. So I went into source control. I tracked down that store procedure. I looked it up. What idiot wrote it? "Hi, my name is Grant." Auditing gives you the ability to know who made what kind of change to your store procedure. So if some idiot did something foolish, you're actually going to be able to find that person and no, not punish them or kill them or do anything horrible. Well, okay, you're going to do something horrible. You're going to educate them. You're going to let them know what they did wrong and ways that they can do better. So source control gives you that ability to audit. They also give you the ability to know when a change was made. Well, when did this happen? Who put this in? Okay, who put this in here? Cool, but when? Because it's been running fine. When did this change occur? Well, okay, let's go take a look at source control and see when the last time this thing got updated. Oh, look, there it is. Yeah, it's been out there for a couple of weeks. Why is it failing now? I mean, it gives us information for our troubleshooting so we can do a better job of figuring out what's wrong with our servers. It also lets us know what the change was, right? So if we've deployed some new piece of code and you didn't write it, someone else did, tracking down who did or whatever, great. Tracking down when, great. But what did they do? What change occurred? Without source control, there's a stored procedure. What's different? I don't know. It's not like it's built into the thing that it's going to track. Well, we can go, I know what we can do. It's only a 50 terabyte database. Let's restore from last week and okay, so auditing. Everybody cool? Auditing, awesome. Undo. So I'm sure none of you have ever fat-fingered the space bar when you've got a whole bunch of code selected and then still hit Control-E. I've done it a bunch. Hit that space bar as you're sliding over to Control, hit the E, and then O expletive. Yes? It's no big deal, right? In SQL Server, Postgres, you hit Control-Z and it undoes what you just did, right? You're nodding your heads. No, it doesn't do what you just did. So what do? Oh, it's easy. You go to the 50 terabyte backup. No, you don't. I mean, you may have to. You may have to go to that 50 terabyte backup because restores can be very long, very difficult. It can take hours. So this becomes a big issue. So what are we going to do? Well, we've got a mechanism for rolling back if we're using source control. We're not stuck going to backups for every single thing we do because we've got source control. And so if we need that Control-Z moment, we can do the Control-Z. Next is the known state, that foundation. What source control gives us, especially if we start using branching and we start using version numbers and all the rest of that stuff that source control does for communication and collaboration, is it gives us a known state. What did our code look like last week? What did our code look like last year? It gives us the ability to then move between environments and move across time and see those code changes as they occur. This is, again, a huge boon for troubleshooting, for understanding what things are wrong or why things are wrong. So that foundation is yet another part of the puzzle that lets us get better at what we're doing. I mean, who doesn't want to get better at what we're doing? Not even a single joker raising your hand. Cool, that's good actually, awesome. So we can do that. Next up, I know we've been joking a little bit about backups, but here's the deal. Backups are good. Off topic, who does not have automated testing of your backups right now, today? Right now. Be honest. Oh, okay. Go fix that. You have to leave bits. Backups are a good thing, only if they're tested. Source control provides us with another backup mechanism. Yeah, I know, it doesn't include the data necessarily. You could put some data in source control, but I wouldn't put all data in source control. I certainly wouldn't put 50 terabytes of data in source control. That's crazy. But it gives us one more backup. It is code only, the create table statement, the alter procedure statement. It is code only, but it's yet one more backup. Who in here is a DBA and paranoid? Okay, who in here is a DBA and not paranoid? Okay, cool, good. Then you're all good DBAs, because a DBA should be a paranoid control freak. You need another backup, always. One more, just one more. Why? Because stuff goes wrong. Things happen. Feces occurs. Know what I mean? Can't say that other word. Awesome. So, source control gives us one more backup, which is a great thing. Cool, we're doing good on time. Another thing source control gives us is a little bit more ephemeral. God, that's hard to say. Ephemeral. What do I mean? Well, we can isolate development and testing. Well, what do you mean? Well, source control gives us the ability to do this funky thing called branching. Branching says, hey, you know what? We're getting ready to work on a hot fix. So we're going to take the code that's currently in production, create a copy of it, make a change or 50 changes or whatever it is that we need to do to get this hot fix done in isolation from all the other development. Get that done, test it, figure out that it's right, deploy it to our production environment, and then merge that back into our main or trunk set of code. So it allows us to isolate that kind of development. We can isolate one team from another. We can isolate a feature from all the other features. Now, the one thing about branching that you do need to know, because branching code is easy, branching databases is stupid. You can't. The way you branch a database is you create another database. It's really the only way to do it. It's really the only way to branch a database is to create another database. Now, there's a whole bunch of things we could talk about on ways to do that, things to make it faster, completely off topic today. But the one thing I want you to know is this gives us this development isolation. It gives us the isolation between environments, between feature sets, between teams, for hot fixes, all that cool stuff, which is fantastic, because then it means that you're testing the thing that you need to test, not the fact that Alexander's writing some code for some new function and your hot fixes are messing up because he keeps making changes. We've walled ourselves off, and now we can get stuff done. Everybody cool with that one? Awesome. And then, finally, I know we're going to start talking about not doing automation, but automation. 8 minutes, right? Cool, good. Just tracking. We're doing good. Very comfortable, actually. Source control is the basis for all automation. If you're going to say, set up a DevOps process, if you want to do a continuous integration process, for example, you commit your code to trunk, or you commit your code to the branch, or you commit your code up to the cloud where you've got some extra stuff, or however you guys are working out your processes. There's a bunch of different ways you could do it. It automatically goes through a continuous integration process, which is a series of automated tests. Cool, awesome. Time to go to QA. Oh, well, we know exactly what code we're taking. We're taking version 4.4.4. That's going to QA. Awesome, we've got that code isolated off. We know exactly what it is. Separate from 4.4.5, walled off from the new development going on over there because we've got a branch. Our deployments are now going to be much more automated, much more easy, much more easily defined. Huzzah, huge win. So that's another advantage to source control. Now, here's the deal. You are going to need a little bit of magic. Can you do it all manually? You know, right click inside of, you know, whatever tool you're using, generate scripts, spit it out into, you know, your files, and then take those files and then check them into source control manually. Absolutely, you can do it that way. Anyone else lazy? Yep, okay, cool, most of the room, awesome. Me too, I am very, very lazy. So you are gonna have to look at some of the tools out there, and there's a whole bunch of them. SSDT, from Microsoft SQL Server database tools. If you're only working in SQL Server, great tool, that does the job, that will help you get it in and out of source control. There's some other third-party products. I know a company that might make a whole bunch of really cool tools that do this kind of thing, that are, you know, it's just kind of right over there, called Redgate. This is not a Redgate session. I know it says Redgate up there, but I got to put it on my slide deck, so I did. But those tools will get your stuff in and out of source control. You don't want to do this manually because it's hard. And anything that's hard, we're less likely to do. So you are going to want to check out a tool that's going to make things easier for you. Whether or not it's something you purchase or something you pick up free, and there are free open source tools that do it too, you're going to want to track one of these down because otherwise it's just too hard to get done. The next thing, the whole goal here today is to get to here. To get to the point where if it's not in source control, it doesn't exist. Now that gets tricky for DBAs because it's there, it's in the database. It sometimes gets tricky for developers. I created that store procedure, it's right there, I see it. Don't tell me it doesn't exist. Well, yeah, but we've got this refresh process that runs every night, and every night we get a new database. And that store procedure that you did not put into source control, it's gone. When we did a deployment to QA, because your store procedure was not in source control, your code broke because we did not deploy it, because we deploy everything from source control. Our truth for our code is source control. And so by using source control, we can do all the automation, we can do all the tracking, we can do all the stuff that we need to do, but if you don't put your code there, it doesn't exist. And if you can get to the point where you're using this approach, this single statement, if it's not in source control, it doesn't exist, you will get all the benefits. If you're not to the point where it's like this, source controls might be just an onerous task. And nobody wants onerous tasks. We want to just get work done and get out the door. Everyone agree with that one? Yeah, me too. That's a big deal for me. All right, so our benefits are really simple. We want to be able to do audits because we want to be able to track who did what, where, how, when, why. We want to know what changed so that we can see it and make that, use that in part of our troubleshooting. I mean, because this is all about communication and collaboration, but it's also about protecting our production environments. We've got an undo mechanism that we never had before. Control Z now exists if you're using source control. We've got a known state that allows us to have a foundation for moving between environments, for ensuring that we know what things are like in a moment in time. We have backups, and every DBA should just cheer every time I say the word, because it's a new backup. It's an additional backup of our code. Now it's code only, but still, it's one more good, safe backup. It allows us to isolate our development and test environments so we can make changes, do things without stepping on each other, without causing problems. And it gives us the foundation for then building out automation if we decide to go down that road. But the fact is that automation, I think you should do it. I sell software that will help you do that. But I don't care if you do it. I want you to put your source code, I want you to put your databases into your source code. I want your databases to be in source control because you can do all of these things. Everybody cool with that? Awesome. Well, with that, I think that we are almost or right at, oh, I'm a minute and a half early. Ugh. Well, you know what? We've got a minute and a half. Would anybody like to ask a question? Over anything we've covered in the last 19 minutes. Yes, one question. Go ahead, sir. No. Okay, so the question was, when we talk about a rollback, are we talking just code or data as well? And the short answer is there something that will then restore from log? And the short answer is no. And the longer answer is no. It really is just code. That's all I was talking about when I talked about rollback, was just code. Okay, with that, we are actually at time. So thank you very much. And again, if there are any questions, I know the virtual people didn't get to ask questions at all. I apologize, but you do have my contact information. Other than that, thank you. We're done. Have a good day.